the Arris x210s. This is a follow-up review of this 5-inch racing slash freestyle drone. Okay. So it looks cool. There's no denying that. I think people would say that it looks dumb. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me, if anyone ever seen the anime Cowboy Bebop, its colors and it's just general kind of shape. I don't know why, but it just reminds me of a spiked swordfish. I know it doesn't look anything like it, but it kind of has that feel to me. I don't know why. But anyway, getting to the review. I think that there's a lot of potential in this drone, and it flies really, really well for what it is. And what it is a, Chinese produced drone. Well, most of them are, but it's made, pre-built, and shipped ready to fly. And it has some decent components, in my opinion. Like these motors and everything, they seem perfectly fine, and it has a lot of power. It's nice and fast. It comes with a Fox-Ear Pagoda antenna. It comes with a Fox-Ear, I'm guessing this is a mini camera. I can't remember which one it is. Something like that. But this camera is freaking awesome. Like, I've flown this at night. I've flown this in cloudy weather, sunny weather, and the camera is freaking awesome. I got nothing bad to say about it. The frame, well, so far it's pretty durable. I've taken a few spills, a few crashes. At one point, my radio, transmitter, the battery died in it, and I lost complete control. So I'm looking there in the goggles, and I just see this thing go, yeah, blah, 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 blah. So, the battery, this is not the stock battery. It comes with one 1500 milliamp hour Arris 4S. I went ahead and purchased a Ovonic 4S, and this is, I want to say it's 1300 milliamp hour. I don't know what it says. Maybe it's 1500. I don't know. It's under the strap, and I don't feel like unstrapping it. I put it there. Basically, have something to hold on to, because it's a bottom slung battery drone. And I'll tell you about the issue I had. The issue I had with this is the VTX burnt out on me. And I don't exactly know why. I was messing with the OSD, and I went into the menus from the transmitter, and I set the power level on the VTX to the maximum, which the stock VTX maximum is 600 milliwatts, which seems to be pretty standard these days. And I was going through the menus. I was trying to change what was shown on my OSD display, and all of a sudden I lost video feed. And my dad is a electronic technician, so I brought it over to him. We took it out, we looked at it, and he was able to show me on very tiny little trends configure labor babadoodler, whatever he called it, I can't remember, but it was burnt. And luckily, well, not luckily, but I purchased a new VTX for it, the AKK Race Ranger, which apparently goes up to 1000 milliwatts. But I don't know what's going on in terms of how this connected, because it's not so straightforward. And I say not straightforward because a lot of the other what you call flight controllers that you get, you have your little pads where you would solder where everything goes. This drone comes with a Flycolor Raptor S Tower F4. Now, there's really not a lot of information out there about this tower. I've looked and looked, and it's hard to even find a pinout diagram, because I don't know if they had this tower custom built, Arris hobby for them by Flycolor, or what, because I can't even find it to buy, because there's other Fly Tower S4s and whatever, but they're not this exact tower. This one, there's an F3 that you can get, there's a 390, there's an X tower, but specifically this one, it's impossible to find. And the pinout diagram on it kind of makes no sense. Now, I'm fairly certain that the other VTX was using like the Tramp communication language. And whenever I hooked up the smart audio and all this, the way this tower is set up is it doesn't have soldering pads. It has the little JST connectors and the little pin connectors you just plug in. So what I had to do, well, my dad, is we had to match the voltages and everything, and match the wires, cut the wires and solder the wires together, heat shrink them, so that it all kind of lined up. And it's kind of a jumbled mess a little bit. It's not as clean as what it used to be. The wires are all kind of hanging out a little bit. I mean, they're not going anywhere, but it's not as clean as it used to be. And the Race Ranger just barely fit under the frame. I guess this aluminum frame. And I really don't know what setting it's on. The button to change the settings like right under the camera. I can barely get to it. But I've been flying, and all of my footage has come from this VTX. Well, all the flying that I've been doing, I've been using this VTX. It's been working. I don't know what exactly it's set to. The base range for this VTX is like 100 milliwatts, so it might be on 100 milliwatts, it might be on 1,000 milliwatts. I have no clue. I could possibly mess with that button and learn. That's probably my next little venture or journey of learning things about this stuff. The quad is pretty cool. I've gotten to the point, I think, in my flying that I'm starting to notice that the tune is not the greatest, and I'm going to start messing with the tune. In fact, I already changed some of the PIDs. In the OSD, you'll find that it has different PID profiles, and it may be it started flying bad because I may have accidentally put it on a profile that had lower PID values. But I went ahead and made a custom PID value on profile 2, but profile 1 I think is what it came with, and it may have been flying better with that, which was slightly higher than profile 2 stock. It's like the last few flights have been a little bit bumpy, but at the same time I've been flying in some cold weather, and the cold weather is hard to, for some reason I can control throttle and I can control the pitch perfectly fine, but yaw and roll is just, my fingers shake trying to control it. Camera on top here, and I'm just going to do a quick little review of this camera. This is the Hawkeye Firefly V1, because I think there's a V2 out there. This is supposedly a 1080p camera. I'm just going to tell you right now, 1080p on this sucks. Don't even bother changing the mode. Leave it on 720p. That's going to give you the best kind of video. I don't know specifically what's up with this thing. The concept of it is perfect. I mean, it's small. Look how it just fits on there. I got it zip tied on. The concept's awesome, but the execution, not so good. The camera, it glitches while it's recording, and it'll have like sections where it just freezes for a second. I don't know why. Maybe I need to update the firmware on it or something, but I don't know if it's really ever going to get any better. So for like 25 bucks, it's not a bad little camera to have, but at the same time, I think it's always going to hold you back. So might as well invest in a better action camera for it. If I can find my dang GoPro that I had years ago, that was better. I have a old GoPro, like Hero 3 Black from years ago, and the video footage from that is better than this. And if I could find that, I'll mount that to this. But in terms of the concept, I like this small camera concept. This is cool, but definitely need to do something a little bit better for better video footage. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I really can't think of anything else to talk about. It's been a tough little bird, and it flies very well, in my opinion. I don't have a lot of experience with any other drones other than a Blade QX350 and a bunch of little cheap drones. This is my first venture into FPV, and I'm loving it. I like it a lot. And these things, Arris Hobby, they're selling them with the transmitter. This is the transmitter, x210s, $280. And this transmitter, other than the day it ran out of batteries, I have no problems with this transmitter. It works phenomenally well. I haven't had any loss of control unless it's dead. So this video's gone on long enough. That's my review of the Arris x210s. Peace.